People like to listen to and watch topics about secret organizations. In real life, these exist. As an example, we have the Freemasons. Whether they have enough power to control the world is debatable. But what is a fact is that this has given rise to a series of theories that adjust themselves as events unfold in the world. This has created a kind of culture that has produced many narratives about it, from books, movies, TV series, and video games. One that has marked a narrative focused on involving such organizations with global power in different historical events has been Assassin's Creed, called the same in English. This game was developed by Ubisoft Montreal and published by Ubisoft in 2007, and it was released for Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and Windows. It can be obtained especially on the digital platform Uplay, which belongs to the company that owns the rights to this intellectual property. Additionally, it can be played on Xbox One via backward compatibility. A curious fact, at first a spin-off of Prince of Persia was planned, involving a similar theme where an assassin protects his prince, but they changed the mechanics to an original game that did not depend on that title, while also giving it a more realistic historical context. The game focuses on a modern-day setting, where a bartender named Desmond Miles is kidnapped to be used in the Animus, a machine that has the ability to simulate and display people's genetic memory. Abstergo, a company, seeks out certain individuals who have ancestors that played a role in important events throughout history. But these events are kept top secret from the general public. They do this in order to find a memory that leads them to a treasure. Dr. Warren is in charge of the project and forces Desmond to use the Animus. But when trying to reach the desired memory, they cannot synchronize it, so they're forced to go back through the genetic memories until they find a point where synchronization is stable and start from that event. Once inside the machine, we go through several tutorials that aim to explain how the Animus works to Desmond and thus to us. When synchronization stabilizes, we control Altair in the memories. He lived during the Third Crusade, which involves the Catholic Church's attempt to recover the Holy Land after losing it. Two main historical figures are depicted: Richard the Lionheart, who commanded the Crusaders, and Saladin, who led the Saracens to hold the territory. Altair belongs to an order called the Levantine Assassins, which is part of a worldwide order called the Assassins, who oppose tyrants and oppressors alike. He is on a mission to beat the Templars to an artifact, but fails and breaks the guild's rules. He is punished by Al-Mualim, the leader of the order. We are demoted and tasked with killing 9 people in different cities, but we must obtain permission to carry out the mission by gathering information about what is happening. The main game focuses on a sandbox, meaning we can move freely around a region. Our main objective is to assassinate figures who are causing great harm to society, from slave traders to corrupt political leaders, among others. To do this, we must gather information. To do so, one must complete certain objectives: stealing letters, maps, or other highly important documents, eavesdropping on people involved, getting details, and exchanging information with other assassins in return for doing their tasks, such as killing one or several guards, as well as recovering a series of banners. While inside the Animus, we can perform a series of basic actions, divided into passive or active. To activate them, you must press a button to bring up the menu at your disposal. Passive actions include walking, moving people, pretending to pray, stealing knives from others. Movement is slow but allows Altair not to raise suspicion. Active actions, where you move quickly, allow you to sprint, climb different structures, perform leaps of faith, with the drawback that people will get in your way or you will raise suspicion. The appeal of this game might lie in the fact that you can advance through many places by climbing different structures and performing parkour on various beams to move much faster and more fluidly. For defense, we have different weapons that unlock as we advance in rank, obtained by completing main missions. The most iconic is the Hidden Blade, which allows you to perform silent and highly stealthy assassinations, while the longsword and dagger allow you to engage in combat with security guards. When entering combat, we can perform counterattacks, defend, normal, and charge strikes. We need to vary between them to emerge victorious. We can also throw knives to kill distant enemies. We cannot kill any civilians, no matter how much they bother us, like the beggar women, because doing so will drastically reduce our synchronization bar, which acts as our health, and they will start hunting us down. To tell who is a target, a soldier, or a civilian, we have a special vision that lets us see a kind of aura showing them in different colors. In each scenario, we have different alert states. Blue, we can move around and nothing happens. Yellow, there's a guard nearby, or they have lost sight of us while we're being pursued. Red, the guards have recognized us and we fight them or they're chasing us. Either we finish them off or escape to get rid of them. We can also hide, as long as we're not at maximum alert, in various objects to go unnoticed, such as haystacks, cloth-walled structures, sitting on a bench, or kneeling to pray with a group of monks. In the kingdom, we can ride a horse with the same stealth or active functions, but there will be different checkpoints from both sides that will attack us if we pass through their area. The game presents different regions: Damascus, Jerusalem, Acre, the Kingdom of the Holy Land, and others. To orient ourselves in the huge territory and the cities, we have a map. When accessing it, we see different icons representing different things, and we can mark them to see them on our mini-map. A radar that guides us in the right direction shows how far something is from us, and whether it is above or below. Not everything is available from the start, as it depends on our memory updating to those moments. All locations have different side missions, such as climbing a lookout tower and looking around. This lets you learn your surroundings, unlocking that map and revealing other missions. Usually, it involves saving a person being attacked by guards, also side missions, or revealing a location where we will get information for the main mission. Additionally, during your journey, you will have to find collectibles. The most notable are killing Templar Knights, who are hidden on all maps. They can be killed stealthily, stabbing them in the back without them noticing. But if they see you, they will charge into combat against you, which is very dangerous because they are very good at sword fighting and you risk losing. Moreover, they are nosy. Often you'll be in a massive fight and they'll show up out of nowhere to slap you around, so it's better to kill them quietly. Besides these, we have to collect hundreds of banners. They're everywhere and are hidden in zones where we have to climb and move around to reach them. Each location has its own. For both collectibles, the number is indicated, but there is no information about their location on the map. Enemies are soldiers of different ranks, with clothing depending on their origin and city, which gives them different attack patterns. Patrols led by high-ranking knights tend to be more strategic, so we need to maintain a more defensive posture to defeat them. But the solitary ones, which we could call military police, fight poorly and sometimes run away when overwhelmed. If you run, they will chase you all over the city until they catch you, unless they lose sight of you because you hid or you finished them off. There are also beggar women who are not enemies, but when they ask you for money and you ignore them, they keep insisting, and when you climb a structure, they throw stones that make you fall. You can push them or kill them, but that lowers your synchronization. If you ask me, they're among the most annoying enemies. The game has a supposed set of bosses, the targets of your contracts. They are mere mortals, no big deal, behaving similarly to captains. But when you face them, the entire army will be after you. Ideally, you follow the information you obtain to kill them silently. But the game doesn't punish you beyond having to kill groups of soldiers before completing your objective, so you can finish your mission however suits you best. While playing as Desmond, we only talk to the people in a room and can move around in that environment, which is somewhat annoying because they pull you out of the animus for any reason. It also tries to emphasize that conflict from centuries ago continue to have an impact today. Personally, it complements the story, but at the same time feels boring, since there's nothing to do but talk. The game has an undeniable virtue: the freedom it gives you to explore different regions. The problem is that many are very similar to each other. I understand that for the time period and region, they may not differ much, since there was a certain predominant architecture combined with religious influences, but here, to indicate a change, they simply added a color filter that makes it look a bit more blue or yellow. Another problem is that sometimes Altair does whatever he wants while we move on buildings. Sometimes he climbs, other times you can't climb until you're very well positioned, and even then only when he feels like it. You'll step back, return to the same position, and now maybe he'll climb. The battles are slow. They remind me of how combat was presented in the first Prince of Persia, and I get the impression they kept it in the project and final product. But many people don't like it because combat is slow and heavy. I would recommend it to people who like exploring. There's a lot to see, and you can take a few minutes to admire the surroundings with the background music, which fits the sights very well. Also to people who like hunting for collectibles, because there are plenty of them. They might not be very different, but the ones that exist are abundant. Also to people who like conspiracies, as the game puts a lot of emphasis on this aspect. I find it somewhat pretentious, but the story is entertaining if a bit predictable. And above all, to live, or at least simulate, a historical event, as the game takes some liberties in its narration. But you feel that essence of being transported to the Third Crusade, or at least to the moments before the conflict arrives. I would not recommend it, because the missions are very repetitive. In fact, you have to do the same thing to get information. You don't kill as many people as one might think. It mainly focuses on eavesdropping on what others say and gathering information. The historical characters are very insignificant. That's understandable because it's ultimately based on history, and it would be very pretentious to change it. But those who act in shadows are very unmemorable. You'll finish the game and most likely only remember Altair. Many years have passed since its release, and personally, time has taken its toll, but even so, it can still be enjoyed. Between conspiracies and being a busybody, it's a game you might like, and it lets you understand the first steps of how tangled this saga became. The best part is exploring the Holy Land at a very important historical moment, and they managed to highlight that very well. That is Assassin's Creed. I hope you liked the video. If so, give it a like. If you know someone who might like it, share it on your social networks. Don't forget to subscribe if you like the channel. If you have any questions, suggestions, or just want to comment something, don't hesitate to do so in the comment box. Also, if you're a big fan of this channel, activate the notification bell to be among the first to watch the videos. Thank you very much for watching this video. See you later. Bye.